that you're making there. Looks like everyone's ready. We're going to be going into Aquilon Waste right now. Bit of a different map, but then again, it is PvP. We might see the exact same thing that we saw on the first map. It is a mirror match, and maps, they don't really play into the PvP matchup as much as they can do in others.
All right, well, I'll give you the introductions for once. Get the crowd started up. Go for it, Lurlian.
Okay, thank you very much. Guys, you're going to have to cheer for this guy in the top left spawn position on Aquilon Wastes because he is currently down a game. Give him your cheers. It is FnaticHarstem. In the bottom right spawn position, playing for Knights Gaming, upsetting FnaticHarstem by beating him in the first game. How is he going to do in the second? If he wins this one, he wins the best of 3 and moves on to winners bracket round 2. He is Sjaak. All right. A lot of supporters down for both players.
Yeah, they're doing.
Might have been more people cheering for Sjaak, actually.
I think so. Maybe
cheering for the underdog.
Yeah, but I mean, it's always nice to see someone doing very good in the tournament. He has done very good in the winners bracket as well. And during the offline event, he's showing that he's really one player to look out for. He also played good in the team league we casted earlier. So yeah, he can do it.
Yeah, he's got a lot of warm-up today. He's played a lot of games, a lot of competitive games. Whereas Harstem, this is his first match of the day, and he's been here for like, what, 2-3 hours? He has been playing a few ladder games, he's been playing around. I actually saw him playing around earlier, practicing his probe stack. Like, stacking your probes and then attacking a single building to get it down as fast as possible. It's it's something that Zerg players used to do in Wings of Liberty, don't worry about it.
And of course he can't really practice because of all the esport girls chasing him.
all the fangirls that are around here. There's actually some pretty nicely dressed girls walking around here in anime's cosplay suits.
There you go.
Because AnimeCon is happening at the same time as the Dutch StarCraft 2 League. I don't know whose idea that was, but that's fantastic. Later when I've got a break, I'm going to be heading down and I'll be looking at the girls.
I was actually never as scared as yesterday. It was like, can you visit the DSCL for some instruction? I was like, yeah, sure. I exited the car and I saw Cloud and Sephiroth from Final Fantasy with big swords. I was like,
oh, that's so cool.
Yes.
Yeah.
Funny.
I think my favorite anime series has to be Death Note. Do you watch anime at all?
No.
Oh, okay. So no anime talks for us, unfortunately.
I'm sorry.
Not even Naruto?
Not even Naruto.
Pokemon?
Yes.
Alright, anyway, let's focus on StarCraft 2 a little bit here. We've seen the usual PvP build orders work out as we've expected them to. Both players going to be opening double gateway again.
Yep, double gateway, really safe opening from both these players. We're going to have to see when they start varying it up. It looks like this time Sjaak put a page out of Harstem's book, putting 2 guys in gas each. And Harstem is doing the other way around, putting 3 guys in gas each. So maybe we're going to see... yeah,
we might see the exact same build orders being done by the different players. We can see the Stargate drop down in a second by Harstem. He is finishing up that pylon right now, has the Mothership Core out, but making the Mothership Core, that's kind of indicative of not a Stargate strategy, because you would drop down the Stargate before you make your Mothership Core. So that's why I figured it was not going to be a Stargate.
It could be a DTs or a Blink build, because he is adding a Twilight Council. Mothership Core indeed indicates that it's not going to be that quick Phoenix or Oracle play from him. Now it's going to be up to Sjaak to see what he's going to go with to stop this. I feel like a Robo would be good, but he hasn't really gotten a scout off on his opponent as of yet. Harstem once again moving that Mothership Core awfully close to his opponent base.
Yeah, this is Parting's build actually. This is a build that Parting uses in his professional games a lot. It is a build that Artosis popularized by doing it on his stream and actively promoting, like saying, this is so good, this is what everyone does in Korea, this is going to be the new meta game in Europe and NA soon too. It's where you get a Mothership Core and you get it super early, you use it to scout, you go Blink, and by the scout that the Mothership Core gets will be early enough for you to react to anything. If it's a Stargate, you can react in time. If it's DTs, you can drop the Robo in time. It's a very solid build.
Okay, that sounds really good and makes a lot of sense as well, and really changes the way that Pro does his work. But he might lose his Mothership Core straight away. Don't know. It's gonna recall it. That's nice. I didn't see the animation on that.
That's good. That's more than he expected to get.
Yep. That's true. And he also got some information, but I don't think he saw the Robotics Bay though.
No, the Robotics Bay was dropped, I think right after the Mothership Core got taken out. Harstem is being pretty aggressive. He's dropping a Nexus actually. I was thinking he might look to punish his opponent's Nexus, but he's not going to do that. He's dropping his own one. Only has a few Stalkers out on the map right now. Only 3. Stalkers are present, so he's going to fall back to his own Nexus, but that is significantly later than the Nexus that Sjaak is going for, once again.
Yep, and
Sjaak in a good position.
Sjaak in a very good position. He also finds the proxy pylon, takes that down, took the better part of the engagement in the middle of the map, and the only thing that Harstem is really going to have ahead of Sjaak is Blink, and that could make a big difference though. He was annoying with it last game as well, picked up some workers. He has to be a little bit careful because his Stalkers will beat the
What is he doing? Sjaak is moving out. He doesn't know his opponent has Blink. He could get caught here. Blink versus no Blink Stalkers. That's going to be a difficult battle to fight. Blink hasn't finished up for
nice
Harstem
flank from Sjaak though, taking one of the Stalkers out, and he did see Blink there.
Yeah, he did see the Blink. The Blink finished up just in time
Very
for Harstem
important.
to save a few of his Stalkers. The Stalker count, funnily enough, in favor of Sjaak, which is pretty weird to see considering that Harstem is going for Blink, but going for such an early Nexus, it lowers your Stalker count significantly.
Yep, but the Nexus for Sjaak finished up earlier. We
Yeah,
don't see any probes in production though, which is kind of worrying me. We see the Immortal coming out once again. We know he loves his Immortal, so...
Has Harstem seen that expansion? Does he know? No, he has no idea his opponent has expanded.
No idea.
He will be assuming it though, I think, by the amount of units that he's seen and the timings.
I think
But
right
I'm
now,
not absolutely sure. Harstem he's still a little bit worried he might get all in.
I think if I was Harstem, I would think that Sjaak is also going for Blink. He's seen a lot of the Stalkers.
Yep.
He was also flanking with them, and he really had no reason to blink yet. I think he thinks he has Blink. Yeah.
Could be. Harstem might have thought, oh, my Blink is about to finish up. His Blink is about to finish up. I need to get out of here.
Yeah.
And he did. He ran as fast as he could back to base. And now he has his Robo out and will be scouting with an Observer. Also has a Stalker walking out. And he's going to be in for the surprise of his life when he sees there's already a Nexus down and a Robotics Bay on the way. A Forge researching upgrades. Such a fantastic position for Sjaak.
And Colossus coming up soon for Sjaak, so I really think that it's up to Harstem to put some pain on this player, because right now if he starts it in macro game, he's going to have more Colossus, he's going to have an Immortal mixed in already, have the Nexus down early, and just be in a really good position. Harstem does have an Observer in Sjaak's base, going to scout out everything that's going on, and he'll know exactly.
He's not going to be happy. He's going to be thinking, oh man, I misread the situation a bit. I need my own Forge. I need to catch up in upgrades because my opponent already has +1 about to finish up. So there's always going to be a full upgrade advantage for Sjaak in the early and mid game.
Yep, he does have 3 more Stalkers, but that's about it. Apart from that, Sjaak just has the better army. Blink though could still be a big deal. He will see with the Mothership Core and the Observer these Stalkers that are trying to flank, and that's a big deal for Sjaak.
It is the Stalkers of Harstem now in the natural, trying to kill some probes, just as they've done in the last series. They do manage to get a few ones. If we bring up the Workers Lost tab, you can see 6 workers have been killed by Harstem. That's pretty significantly. He is also blinking back into the main base, is trying to focus down a Zealot there. Trades a Zealot for a Stalker. Not a good trade.
The best deal. Now those Stalkers blinked up, and then Sjaak was like, surprise, I know exactly what you're doing. Had a good counter to that, and he's just getting more and more ahead right now.
Yeah, he's getting in a good position. Harstem has to be careful. No Blink is researched, though, for Sjaak. So that's something that Harstem can still exploit, like you said. Exploiting the fact that his opponent has no Blink. Trying to pick off probes, trying to keep him in his base. Always the threat of moving out and then your entire main base getting destroyed by Stalkers. It's a dangerous thing that's going to be pressing on your mind.
Yep, and it looks like he's going to try it once again to blink into the main base. He's already getting his Stalkers into a position there. Bless you, by the way. I don't know if he wants to do this though. There's an Immortal and some Stalkers. He could also warp in. He's gonna... no, he's indecisive right now. He does shoot the shell out a few times, but that's about it. The rocks are gonna get taken out, and Harstem has to get his Stalkers out of there.
Yeah, Harstem does, and he's doing that right now. How are we looking on the Colossi? We've got 1 Colossus for Sjaak. We've got a single Colossus for Harstem. Harstem is researching Thermal Lance. Did we have a Thermal Lance for Sjaak? I think we did. We might have.
And Harstem just losing 1 extra.
No, he's got
Stalker.
no Thermal Lance. That's important to note. No Thermal Lance researched for Sjaak. So once again, moving out with that 1 Colossus, just as we've seen him do in the last game.
He does split off 3 of his Stalkers on the other side of the ravine though. They're not being picked up by Harstem, but that would have been a small position he could have done it. Third base once again from Harstem, gonna get laid down, and this is gonna be very hard to hold for Harstem here. He does have 2 Colossus, but no Immortals.
He has 2 extra Colossus on the way, and his Thermal Lance and his +1 are about to finish. Harstem needs to buy some time. He's going to cancel that Nexus last moment. Wants to buy as much time as possible. Oh, he doesn't cancel, and the recall goes down. Nicely done by Sjaak, while expanding to his own third base. Aye, Harstem missing the cancel. That's 400 minerals down the drain.
More important, it's a lot of time down the drain because they're both making Colossi out of 2 robotics facilities right now. So the Colossus count will be quite even. I don't know, Sjaak should have thermal lance right now, right?
He didn't before.
He still does not. That's a big deal actually. That's gonna really change the engagement here because it looks like Harstem is moving across the map with 3 Colossi and they have range, and the ones for Sjaak, I think they do, but that the overlay just doesn't show it.
What doesn't show it?
I think like if you go here, it doesn't show that they have range, but I think he actually does. If you go to the upgrades.
No, it shows for Harstem. It's
only for Harstem?
Yeah,
Oh,
Harstem is the only guy with thermal lance in this game.
That's
so
bad.
he will be able to use the superior range of his Colossi if he realizes the fact that his opponent does not have range. It's a big mistake.
It's a really big mistake. If you have 3 Colossi and you're adding 2 more, you want to have range with them.
You're definitely right. Maybe that is something that Harstem can put to his advantage here. The supplies pretty equal, 138 to 134. Harstem is moving in here. The range difference is not going to come into play as much. The Immortals from Harstem, though, focusing down the Immortals of Sjaak. They cannot reach each other, but so many Zealots in position for Sjaak as the Colossi of Harstem were focusing on the Colossi of his opponent. Those Zealots were doing some counter damage. 4 Colossi versus 1 right now. There's another one walking down the cliff for Sjaak. It's a difficult defensive position without that thermal lance.
Yeah, I can't believe we actually forgot that. I think that made a huge difference in that engagement. We do see that Harstem right now in the unit step, which I will open, has a lot more Colossus. It's 5 against 3 right now, and that's going to make a huge difference. Not to mention that the ones from Sjaak still don't have range. And that's also going to hurt him. He does have some Archons on the way though, and Archons are really good at breaking some positions.
Oh, Sjaak.
I don't know.
Sjaak, you need that thermal lance, buddy. You also need
it.
+2. Harstem's researching +2 too, whereas Sjaak is staying on his 1-1 for now. He's making sure that he stays alive. He needs all his money to warp in units to defend. That's why he's not focusing as much on his macro and his upgrades right now. Whereas Harstem, he's been macroing flawlessly behind this. He's got a great probe count, has got cannons going up. Like I said, those double upgrades, they're so important.
So important, and it's getting him ahead in this game. There is a DT trying to do some damage, but the Observer just spawns as the DT is entering the base. Looks like Sjaak wants to move on the map a little bit. No, guess not, he's retreating already. But this is going to be a late game, I feel like, with 2 maxed out armies, and it's going to be whoever has the best army. But if he really does not get thermal lance during that, I think it's over.
Yeah, it definitely is. We saw a DT move in for Sjaak into the 3rd base of Harstem, was attempting to do some damage, but he wasn't really able to. There were cannons there, there was a mothership core there, so the DT play that Sjaak tried to throw out here has done absolutely nothing. And when you invest that much gas into DTs, that's going to set your upgrades, your Colossi counts, all your other units back pretty significantly. And the army for Harstem, it is mighty scary.
Sjaak could get a good flank in here though, as the Colossus are a little bit out of position from Harstem, and he's getting a really good concave.
Does he have thermal lance by now?
I don't think
still
he has,
no thermal
lance. When he realizes he's gonna throw something somewhere, we're gonna have to see how he does though.
You know what the thing is? Harstem can right-click his Colossi on his opponent's Colossi, and they will not be able to shoot back. He can just shoot, move back, and Sjaak will always be, you know, just this bit short.
Oh god, that's a really bad
bit of a visual visual interpretation there.
And we do see 4 base being laid down by both of these players, and a lot of Colossus for both of these players as well. It's gonna be, well, not maxed out yet, but really close supplies. And the army is actually, I think, better from Sjaak if you had the thermal lance, because the amount of Archons he's got in it is really good for the tanking.
Yeah, it's good. It's good.
It's really good. It's really impressive army, but I don't think he's going to break it without the thermal lance.
It's going to be so hard to attack a Protoss with thermal lance without your own. I hate to get back to this constantly, but it is playing a big factor in this game. What also is playing a big factor is Harstem is about to finish up +3. So that's going to give his Colossi, who already have the superior range, also the superior damage. And those lasers, man, they'll be shooting.
And we all love lasers. We like seeing things blow up as well. As you will see that soon enough here. There are some Zealots being sent out as a task force to kill the other Zealots, which is quite entertaining. But no real damage being done yet by Sjaak. He is getting into a good concave, hoping that Harstem will move out and he can just surround him from everywhere.
Yeah, now 1 DT comes in. He's like, haha, you can't see me. I'm going to slice you Zealots down. Harstem is going to realize that, send his Observer over there. He's even sending some probes out right now towards that expansion to start mining. as Sjaak is trying to keep this contain up. What is Harstem
But
gonna do? He's
here
gonna
we
push out.
go.
He has
He's
the
gonna
plus
push
3
out.
research, he has the better upgrades, he has the superior Colossi range, but it can still go either way.
It could go either way, but I feel like it's really gonna end up hurting him a lot, though. The Archon's doing a good job tanking for Sjaak, taking so much damage from this, but the Colossus, they just can't reach his Colossus. Look at that. I think he's realizing now.
Yeah, this is the end of the game. The range is gonna make Harstem come out victorious here. Sjaak just cannot reach anything. His army is gonna get killed off. Harstem is rummaging through here. GG comes down. Harstem ties the series up 1-1.